made a video about decentering men. Not because the role that they play in our life is not valuable, and not because they are worthless and they are rubbishes and all of the things that sometimes we can say. In fact, they are a great part of creation and they play a vital role. But what is the role that they play in our individual lives and our individual worlds? Is it a healthy or an unhealthy one? And when I speak about our individual worlds, I'm talking about the world that is you. Within you, there's an inner masculine and feminine. Is that a balanced dynamic within you? And to add to my point, I'm going to use an example. I had a woman reach out to me for a reading. And she struggles with her health. And she really needed support, but she couldn't afford to pay for my session. And I went and I decided I'm going to do it for her, just on a donation basis, whatever she can, because there's got to be an exchange of energy. Otherwise, I'm not helping. I'm just contributing to the shortage, the lack, and the blockage. If we don't value one another's energy and time, if you don't value what is being offered, it's not going to benefit you. And so I agreed to help her, to support her, to support her on her journey on a donation basis. And I was chatting back and forth with her about how we could do it and what's possible. And the next thing, she was calling me. And I didn't take the call because I'm on the spectrum. So my day's planned in advance. And I stick to my plan for the day. If there are changes, I don't cope with that well. And so already me fitting her in, me being willing to create a slot for her, to make a change, to slot her in was a big thing for me. But her just phoning me out of the blue when I'm focusing on something else, immediately my guide said to me, this is not the kind of person you want to work with. This person has no consciousness of your time, of your energy. She's so focused on what she thinks she wants right now, which is her answers, that she's not being considerate of your time. And now would be a good time to not take this client. And I went against my better judgment. I was like, but I've already been speaking to her and I don't want to drop her right now, and let me just do this reading. And the entire time I did make a time, and the entire time that I was trying to give her the message that she needs, she was focused on the fact that I'm already 53. I've got this health issue and it's almost December. Am I going to have love come into my life? I just want to know that. I don't want to know about all the spiritual woo-woo stuff. I don't want to know what spirit has to say about anything else. I just want to know what's going to happen with this person. And every time I would tell her what spirit is saying, because it affects her health and it's going to affect every area of her life. It is what she needed to hear. She kept shutting me down and getting really agitated with me because she just wants to get to the nitty-gritty. What was at the center of her focus was, when is my partner, when is this man coming into my life? Because he's going to be the answer to all of my unhappiness. The fact that I feel limited by my age and my health and this and that. The answer to all of this is this man that's going to come into my life. And that's all I want to know is someone coming into my life soon? Is there something going to happen with this person? Is something going to... And the more I was answering what spirit is saying, that the more she was shutting it down. She just wants to know what's happening in the 3D. And so I told her. And she obviously didn't like the answer. Then she was willing to say, so what must I do? So she wasn't interested in her own health. She wasn't interested in how she must show up for herself, what she needs to be aware of. She wasn't interested in anything about her, this love relationship between her and Source. The focus was just this, when is this man coming into my life? And when the answer was, no, nothing's going to happen because your energy is going to keep blocking it. Oh, so now I'm ready to listen, because I'm ready to listen now if it means that I'm getting the man. And I had to break it down to her, and this is sort of an indirect message to all of us, because this is what Spirit said. You are not a match to love. You disassociate from every part of you that has value because you judge it based on the conditions. You are not a match to love. And it's not about sitting down in meditation for hours or having endless workshops and saying, I'm a light worker and I'm a light worker. It's about the decision you make moment to moment. And in this moment, you have a stranger that has made a huge sacrifice for you and made herself uncomfortable to show up for you. And you are too blind to see that this is an act of love. I have made it possible to bring you the message that you need to receive right now for your own health and well-being, and so that you can finally let in the love you need. And you're too busy. You've got a shortage of money. You've got a shortage consciousness around money. You've got a shortage consciousness around your time. You've got shortage consciousness around value, that you cannot even see that in this moment right now, this is an act of love. And you are pushing up against all of the value that is being offered you, and you are wondering why you cannot manifest your soulmate. It is the choice you make moment by moment. This is another woman sacrificing her time. She's a stranger. She's got no investment in you, and she's showing up for you so that I can channel my message because I love you. And you are too blind to see the offering she's offering you because she's not a man. And in your relationship with yourself, moment by moment, you become angry with yourself. You have lack of patience with yourself. You've got a shortage of love and appreciation for yourself because all you see is your limitation, because you are not a man. You are not enough for yourself. It's moment by moment. And you see, in that experience, the position she took, her responses to what I was offering, had nothing to do with her or me, and it had everything to do with this invisible man that is not yet in her life. And the universe, Spirit, is really protecting her and her soulmate, because if he comes into her experience now, she's not a match to appreciating anything, and she's going to put all the responsibility of her happiness onto his shoulders, and he will fail. But worse than that, if she's not a match to the love that he is meant to offer, she's going to manifest someone that is a match to treating her exactly the way that she treats herself and other women. And he will be that villain in her story. And then she will spend her time and her money trying to figure out how to make him behave better. And still at the center of her world will be him. And then we wonder, why is our world so imbalanced with masculine and feminine energy? Why is it out of balance? And we try and convince people with our words that it needs to change. And we try and beat the drum of, I'm in opposition to this. But nothing's going to shift. Men don't have the power to change it. They don't. We have to change it here with the relationship with ourselves. When we change it here energetically, in the consciousness that is us, it'll change in the world. And then we'll have more balance. The energy will be balanced more equally amongst the sexes. But as long as every choice we make, good or bad, at the center of it, and it's often when it's the things we do that we don't notice, because when I pointed that out to her, she went really, really quiet. And by the time she asked me again, so what must I do? I said, I already told you. But she wasn't receptive of it. She probably doesn't even remember what I said, because she was not a match to the part of her that is feminine, that is receptive to her own medicine and her own value. Because at the center of every choice, of every moment, of every disease is still a man.